Is your engine struggling to accelerate and burning way more gas than usual while the dashboard shows code P0080? This code stands for Exhaust Valve Control Solenoid Circuit High Bank 1. This is a generic OBD2 code, meaning it applies to most vehicles made after 1996, but it is specifically related to the Variable Valve Timing, or VVT system. In modern engines, the PCM controls exactly when the exhaust valves open and close to maximize power and efficiency. It does this by sending a pulse-width modulated signal to a control solenoid which directs oil pressure to change the camshaft position. When you see code P0080, the computer has detected that the voltage returning from that solenoid on bank 1 is higher than the maximum limit allowed. Bank 1 is simply the side of the engine that houses cylinder number 1. This high voltage usually indicates an electrical issue rather than a mechanical failure inside the engine block. The symptoms are noticeable poor acceleration, rough idling, and definitely a hit to your fuel economy. The causes are usually electrical in nature. It could be a disconnected wire, corrosion in the connector, an open circuit inside the solenoid coil itself, or a short to power where a wire is touching a voltage source it should not touch. To diagnose this, pop the hood and locate the exhaust valve solenoid, typically found on the exhaust manifold side of the cylinder head. Inspect the wiring harness for any burns or breaks. If it looks okay, unplug the solenoid and use your digital volt ohm meter set to the ohm setting to check the resistance across the solenoid pins. If the meter reads infinite or over limit, the internal coil is broken and you need a new solenoid. If the solenoid checks out, you need to check the wiring going back to the computer. Turn the ignition on but keep the engine off and check for power and ground at the harness plug. If you find voltage where there should be none, you have a short to power. For advanced testing, you might need a scan tool that can command the solenoid on and off while you monitor the duty cycle with a graphing multimeter. If the command from the scanner matches the reading on your meter, the wiring is good and you might be dealing with a rare PCM failure. However, in 90% of cases, replacing the solenoid or fixing a broken wire will clear the code and restore your engine's power.